Sandhan. All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Namaste. Myself Hina Thanki. I have done my MBA from KS School of Business University, Business Management, and I am pursuing my PhD. I am a faculty associated with National Institute of Cooperative Management, Gandhinagar. I have 8 years of teaching experience in the finance elective subjects. Today, I'll be discussing on RBI policies with you. Okay. So, okay. My topic today is RBI monetary policy. Okay. Now, everybody might have heard the name of the RBI. Okay. RBI is stand for Reserve Bank of India. RBI is the India's central banking and monetary authority. When we say a central banking authority, and we are confused that we have heard the name of Central Bank of India also. Okay, we should not confuse ourselves. Central Bank of India is altogether a different Indian normal bank, and RBI is our main central banking authority. The Reserve Bank of India is India's central banking institution which controls the monetary policy of the Indian rupees. RBI was commenced and its operation on 1st April 1935 during the British rule in accordance with the provisions of the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. RBI was established before our independence. Okay, actually, slow. Okay, RBI was actually established before our independence. Okay, we got independent in 1947, but RBI was before there since 1935. Okay, and now after independence, it becomes the nationalized one, and now it is working as the Central Monetary Authority of India. Okay. Now, before directly jumping on to the monetary policy of RBI, we should first understand that what are the functions which RBI plays in India. Okay. The major functions of RBI are currency issuance, banker to the government. It acts as bankers to the all bank. It also acts as the custodian of exchange reserve. It also acts as the controller of the credit, and it also plays some of the ordinary banking functions for the government. Let us take one by one functions and understand in detail each of the functions. Okay. First is currency issuance. The Reserve Bank has the monopoly for issuance of the currency in the country. Okay, whenever we discuss that about currency note and coins, we must know that they are printed by the RBI in India. Okay, but we must also should know that the 1 rupee currency note is not printed by the RBI. Okay, it is printed by the Ministry of Finance. Okay, if any one of you is having 1 rupee note, okay, you can cross verify it that on each and every note except 1 rupees note, you will see the signature of RBI governor over there, whereas in 1 rupee note you will see the signature of finance minister. Okay. It has the RBI has the sole right to issue the currency note of all the denomination except 1 rupees note. 1 rupee note are issued by Ministry of Finance of the Government of India. However, the notes are issued by the Ministry of Finance for 1 rupee, but they are distributed and they are routed through the RBI only. So we can say that RBI in India is the sole authority for legal tender, issuance of legal tender in India. The Reserve Bank has a separate division altogether for issuing the currencies and all, and they are mainly functioning on it. Now, the second function of major functions of RBI is it acts as a banker to the government. The Reserve Bank acts as the banker, agent and advisor to the government of India on various parameters. Let us see what are this. Okay. It maintains and operate government deposit. Okay, if now think of it, government need to deposit some money, government need to withdraw some money, then who will do this? Okay, on behalf of government, RBI does all these functions. It collects and make payment on behalf of the government. If government needs to pay to some third party, if government need to receive fund from some third party, RBI will do all the formalities for the government. It helps the government to float new loans and manage the public debt. Now, if government needs some money, government need to raise some fund from the public as a whole, who will do the work? This is the RBI who will do the work on behalf of the government. It sells the central government treasury bill. Okay, before going to this, we must understand what are the treasury bill. Treasury bill are the T, famously known as the T-bills. These are the bills which government issues for their money needs, okay, monetary needs. If government needs fund, they'll issue the treasury bills and will have the money, okay. And for government of India, RBI will do all the formality of issuing the treasury bill. It makes a way and means advance to the central and state government for period not exceeding 3 months. Okay. Now first we should know what is way and means advances. Okay. Way and means advances are the scheme of RBI for short-term financing. Okay. If, for example, I'm supposed to receive my money after 3 months. Okay, but I need money right now. From where I'll manage? Okay, let us say government will receive the tax in the month of March, but in the month of February, government is in short of funds. Government needs money. From where they'll have the money? Okay, so they can use the way and means scheme of the RBI and can take and borrow the money from RBI, but the period should not exceed 3 months. Continuing on the same, okay, it provides development finance to the government for carrying out the 5-year plan. Okay, everybody might be aware about the 5-year plans of the India. Okay, every year, after every 5 year, a new plan is there, and we set some objectives to be achieved in that 5-year plan. Now, to completion of the 5-year plan, government needs finance to be done to set the project, to enhance the project, to implement the project. Okay, and all the finance need will be met by the RBI in this respect. Okay, it undertakes foreign exchange transaction on behalf of the central government. Okay, government of India might be needing foreign exchange for all of the outside India transaction. Okay, and all the cares are taken by RBI for the government needs. It acts as the agent of the government of India in the letters dealing with the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and other international financial institutions. Okay, India cannot work in the isolation. For monetary transaction, we are working together, world as a whole. Okay, and to represent India in International Monetary Fund, to represent India in World Bank, RBI will act as the representative of IMF and World Bank for India. It advises the government on all financial matters such as loan, operation, investment, agriculture and industrial finance, banking, planning and economic development. Okay, being the central bank of the India, it is RBI's role and duty to advise the government on various financial issues relating to the development of the economy, related to the agriculture, related to industrial finance, development of banking and economical growth. Now let us discuss our third topic and third functions of the RBI. It acts as banker's bank. Okay, RBI is the sole authority or prime authority in banking. Okay, under the Act of 1934 of RBI, Regulation and Banking and Regulation Act of 1949, it is amended from time to time, and the RBI enjoys extensive power and sole power for supervision, regulation and control over commercial and cooperative banks. Okay, if anybody wants to start bank, how? I can start as it. If I want to start the bank, it is no. If any foreign bank needs to start their branch in India, then if any person want to start a cooperative bank in India, okay, then they must take the permission from the RBI. RBI is the governing body, licensing authority, controlling authority and supervision authority, okay, for banking sector, because banking sector is core interest sector. Next is RBI also act as the custodian of exchange and reserve. Okay, now let us talk about the foreign exchange. Okay, whenever we say foreign exchange, the dollar, euro, pound comes in our mind. Okay, let us first understand how a foreign exchange come into the India and go out from the India. Okay, when any country interact with another country, let us say example that if somebody from Gujarat is exporting a cloth to US, okay, he will receive currency US dollar, he will receive his payment in US dollar. Same way, if somebody is importing from Canada a goods, okay, they need to make the payment in US dollar. Okay, so the importer will need the US dollar, the exporter will receive the US dollar. Okay, but being a prime exchange rates, okay, now how they will be dealt? Okay, now the need from where they'll get? Okay, generally a person who will receive the export currency, a dollar currency, will deposit in a bank. Okay, now the importer can also buy the currency from the bank, but from where? The bank will get the currency where? The bank can sell the currency. Okay, foreign currency is a prime concern because it is a scarce resource, and most of the our export and import, when we are importing, we need to pay the currency in foreign exchange. Okay, so RBI act as the custodian of the country's foreign exchange and manages the foreign exchange. The foreign exchange regulation under the law required that all foreign exchanges received, whether on account of export of earning, investment earning or capital result, whether on private account or on government account, must be sold to RBI either directly or through an authorized dealer, mostly major commercial bank. Now, in my surprise, I'll think that I buy from bank, okay, I sell to bank, then how RBI comes into the picture? Okay, all the foreign currency transaction, they are governed by FEMA Act, and RBI is the sole authority to deal with foreign exchange. Okay, if I buy the foreign exchange from bank, if I sell the foreign exchange to the bank, ultimately at the end of the day or at the end of the transaction, the details will be sent to the RBI, and bank will transferring all the foreign exchange to the RBI. Whether it can be on export, either it can be if you are earning anything on your investment, if you are earning or if you are remitting, if your relatives are in foreign and they send you the money in dollar, then also it must be deposited with RBI. Okay, you can convert the dollars, you can convert the pounds in Indian rupees, and you need to deposit it with the bank. Okay, however, there is some limit that you can hold the foreign currency. If you are the resident of India, you can hold the foreign currency up to 2 lakh rupees with you. Okay. This resulted in centralization of countries' foreign exchange reserve with RBI and facilitate a planned utilization of the reserve, because all the payment in foreign exchange were also controlled by the authority RBI. Now, why country needs to centralize the foreign exchange? Okay, because if nobody is reporting that how much foreign currency is coming in India, how much foreign currency is going outside the India, from where country can have the report on it. Okay, so that is why it is meant compulsory that foreign currency reportation should be done with RBI, and it acts as the central authority for it, so that we can know our balance of payment, whether we are in foreign currency surplus or whether we are in foreign currency deficit. Okay. RBI also acts as the controller of the credit. As the central bank of the country, Reserve Bank undertakes the responsibility of controlling the credit in order to ensure the internal price stability and promote economic growth. Okay. RBI, as the central bank in India, has many responsibility to deal with. Okay. If the interest is going down, we blame RBI. If interest rate is coming up, we blame the banks and RBI. If there is an inflation, we again blame the RBI. If inflation is going down, again we thank to RBI. But how? Okay, RBI, through their control of credit policy, which is a core part of monetary policy, regulates all the functions. Through this function, the RBI, Reserve Bank, attempts to achieve price stability in the country and avoid inflation and deflationary tendency in the country. Now look at the situation that if there's too much money available in the country, okay, you might have heard the term called too much money chases too few good. It is the situation of inflation. When there is an inflation, the price of all the goods and commodities go up. People have too much money and they are ready to pay higher for the prices. Okay. And in such a situation, the goods will become more costly and goods and services both will be most costly, and the people who are below poverty line, people who are at the middle level of income won't be able to afford all the goods and commodity. Okay, and that is why it is always in the prime concern that the inflation should not increase beyond some level. Okay, now let us think at the situation if there is too less money in the country. Okay, let's talk about the thing currently when the demonetization was there. Okay, at that time, okay, we were not having too much money. Okay, every people have empty